I've seen Diddy have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house, because on the other side of that wall is Beyoncé, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to.
Jason Lee has been making headlines in the entertainment sector lately by disclosing claimed marital problems and making surprising revelations about some of the greatest personalities in hip-hop and Hollywood. Wube and say Jay-Z to divulge specifics on cease litigation against Diddy. Jason Lee is renowned for sowing the seeds and IGN debate with his most recent target. Diddy Jason alleges to have exclusive knowledge from trustworthy sources inside Diddy's inner circle, accusing the hip-hop mogul of attempting to blame his sons per his own hidden transgressions.
You got a lot of people, man, that's wondering why Farnsworth Bentley, why he hasn't came out and defended Diddy. They was real cool at one point, so.
Well, I was there when Farnsworth Bentley got his actual name. How they came up with the name and everything. We were sitting in front of the apartment building on 74th and Park Avenue. It was me, him, Tony De Niro. Puff was upstairs. They was trying to figure out, he had became Puff, one of Puff's personal assistants. You understand? To make sure all Puff shit is there when we get ready to go. Everything that was supposed to be in order. That was Farnsworth Bentley's job. When Puff has to go to restaurants and places like that, he made sure everything was straight with that. You know what I'm saying? And he had another assistant too. But Farnsworth Bentley was his personal assistant, put out his clothes, told him what he should wear, all that, like a stylist and personal assistant all together, So we was in front of the house and this dude, Tony De Niro, he played guitar in that Bad Boy for Life. The black dude, not the white guy, the black dude who played the guitar, that's Tony De Niro. I think he might be from California or something. So Tony De Niro was like, yo, we gotta think of a name for you, man. And if you're gonna be his personal assistant and slash butler slash umbrella carrier, whatever you gonna do, you understand? We gotta think of a name for you. We're gonna try to make you like Bentley or either Farnsworth or either Bent. You gotta be, you gotta have that kind of persona. You gotta dress all the time, be neat and the whole 9 yards. And then the dude, Derek, was playing with him like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. I know how to do that. I could be over the top. He was acting like that. You know what I'm saying? I could be over the top. So he was saying that. And the dude, Tony De Niro, said, we gotta figure out a name for you, man. It's gotta be on the level of, those characters. He said, you gotta be like Farnsworth, you gotta be like Ben.
Jason Diddy is supposedly trying to scapegoat his children and is involved in severely activities. These revelations have sent shockwaves through the industry and generated doubts about the extent of Diddy's past offenses.
He said, fuck it, we're just gonna call you Farnsworth Bentley. And he said, I like it. And they start calling him that. His name Farnsworth Bentley. I said, these motherfuckers corny. Like I was like, yo, believe this. But he was always right there, but not like at nighttime when we was doing things, he wasn't around, bro. He was only there when the cameras was there and shit like that. I don't know how much he could do. I don't know if he would say anything because he probably signed the ND, a non-disclosure, and he don't want to say anything against Puff anyway because Puff got shit on him. And I ain't talking about no sexual shit, none of that shit. The nigga was stealing, bro. Yo, bro, the niggas I don't want to put that on sticky fingers. That nigga right there, bro, don't lay nothing down around him. You heard me? Don't lay nothing down around dude right there. Dog, Jennifer Lopez had these boots, they cost $5,000. I'm like, what kind of fucking boots cost $5,000? Now you gotta realize, this is like in 2000, early 2000. These boots cost $5,000. And because she was gonna be out of the country or something like that, she didn't have them come to her house down in the village because she would have never got it because they'd be stealing her stuff down there at our apartment. So she had them come to Puff house. She wanted these boots so bad, she was mad. They looked through everything trying to find Jennifer boots. Cause Puff had like Puff, people used to just give him shit and send him shit from everywhere. So he had this room, this mail room in his house with numbers that he never even opened. But I don't know how Farnsworth Bentley found that shit. But we went over there to his house and we found a lot of Jennifer shit and everybody else's shit that belonged to Puff. I guess Puff had too much stuff in the room and he was just keeping them for it.
And you seen this with your own eyes? That's crazy, man.
My own eyes, bro. We went to his apartment.
He don't even seem like that type of dude, yo, but damn.
Security also, we went over there, man. They had to do shit, bro. And that's why Puff had stopped messing with him. And then he goes get a show. Puff ain't say nothing. He went and got a show of how to teaching thugs how to be the gentleman. I hope the first thing he taught them was that, don't steal.
Jason's penchant, however, is nothing new for stirring the stew. He had previously gained notoriety by openly criticizing Jay-Z's purported criminal ties and threatening to release negative information on His readiness to use blackmail to court powerful people highlights the lengths he will go to in order to achieve his goals.
Rated. If you can, right, because he got the show with Cam, and a lot of people, they don't know about the history between Mace and Diddy. Let the people know how Diddy did him dirty, if you don't mind.
From what I know, I think that Diddy wasn't teaching Mace the business. You understand? He was using Mace as other artists to write rhymes on other people, write songs on other people's albums, on his album, and taking their talents and stealing their publishing on different albums and different records. Prime example, Mace wrote that Bad Boy joint. I ain't even see him at the premiere because I believe Diddy owned most of the publishing on that, which ended up being a big record that went over to movies. I think Mace was upset the fact that when he learned the business, he saw how Diddy had robbed him. He had took the glory for the albums, the music, and all the records that he had did. And he got pennies for it. You understand? 8,000 here, 10,000 there. You understand? When the record go platinum, Diddy's getting 200,000-300,000 and only gave him pennies for writing a song, getting points on publishing that he didn't even deserve. So Mace learning the business and knowing the business, it led him to be upset. Diddy was teaching him wrong, like Diddy was teaching him not to even speak to people, brother. You understand what I'm saying? Mace used to come up in there, yo, what's up, how you doing? He had that Harlem smile. You know what I mean? Like he happy, he's shining. Cause, you know, he had a lot of jewels that the other artists didn't have. He used to come up in the studios, he used to come places fly. Did he tell him, yo, you ain't gonna never be famous cause you always speaking to people. Let them speak to you. I seen Mace stop speaking to people. When I told him, man, don't listen to that nigga with that old dumb shit. Be you. But he found out.
Jay's and Beyonce's marriage has long been the subject of conjecture, with tales of adultery and business alliances circling the power couple. According to Jason, Banning may be attempting to separate themselves from Jay-Z in light of claims that he has connections to Diddy Shady. It may also be a calculated effort to safeguard based financial interests in the event of legal issues.
It was word of mouth, or somebody sitting you down, or you hiring a lawyer back then to teach you what you're supposed to know by representing you. So Mace has every right to be upset with Diddy, because Diddy really stole his legacy in the music. See, what you gotta understand this is that a lot of those kids learned the business after they signed their contracts. They learned the business after they was in the business for 3 or 4 years. So now, when they learned the business and they was doing, sitting right there, writing a whole record, a whole song, right? And Diddy was like, yeah. Here, take this, take that. Give them 10,000 for that one song that they wrote. And that song goes platinum 2 or 3 times. And he get the 25% for being the writer on that, because they wrote the song and gave it to him. And he's on as the publisher, as the writer. You understand what I'm saying? He's getting a percentage of the writing that was done, and all he gave was 10,000. They learned they learned later in the business that they was do that publishing. He shouldn't have got the percentage that he got on there, because he gave them 10,000, 5,000, 8,000 for writing. So now they learned the business late. And when they learned the business, they seen how wrong that he was doing them. Even though the music people want you to say, well, we're taking a chance, we're taking a thing. Yo, listen to me, man. You wouldn't be there if you think that you wasn't talented and they could sell records off you and using your talents. They've seen enough people to come through. So you writing all those hits and you not getting the money from them. How many years Mace didn't get the money from Bad Boy that they used on Will Smith and them Bad Boys? I went to the premiere with Puff. Mace wasn't even there. But he wrote that.
The charges of criminal activities are not the only legal issues facing City. His ex-girlfriend Cassie sued him for financial exploitation and emotional abuse, and they reached a sizable settlement that is reportedly worth between $120 million and $25 million. These claims raise concerns about Diddy's financial situation and reveal a darker side of this personal life.
I'm not saying Diddy did it. I'm not saying Diddy didn't do it. And I'm not gonna say no Diddy. You know, that's the whole joke online right now. But when you look at it, we cannibalize our own more than they do.
For sure.
We will cancel us before they do, and we will make ourselves the laughing stock, not understanding we're really doing the layup for it to happen to somebody else, right? You saw when Kanye got canceled for doing what he did, and what he did was very reckless in how he decided to articulate his thoughts. But then you saw how easy it was for people to try to go after and kill Kyrie for retweeting something that existed on Jeff Bezos' website. right? Nobody ever mentioned Jeff Bezos. So, you know, when I look at the application to cancel culture, when I look at the storytelling and how they used to vilify Floyd, and here I am on the jet with this man, super generous, looking out for everybody, inspiring kids everywhere we go, all over the world, people know him and are inspired by him. But to vilify him or make a mockery out of him or to do this and that, I'm like, yo, there has to be a platform that has a little bit more responsibility. You can still be critical, but you got to be fair and you got to be even-handed in how you hand it out. That's what I thought I wanted to do. So as a critic, it was Charlemagne who said, you know, because he was somebody else I looked up to, you know, and you see his evolution from when he was with Wendy to now, you know. I looked at him, he said, man, it's really hard for me to tell what you are, but if anything, you're a culture critic. So I called my attorney and I said, trademark culture critic, because that's what I am. And then now that's what you know, because they would say, oh, he's a blogger. How you gonna call me a blogger and put me in about, not that there's anything with being a blogger, but that's your way of minimizing my impact, or that's your way of minimizing my power. That's your way of minimizing my influence. And dumb people will buy into that shit. I'm way bigger than that. Because there's people like, you know, the people that had the Wendy Williams show that told me I wasn't big enough to host her show. Then I went out and built a show that was making more numbers than with Sherry, you know, shout out to Sherry, I love her show now, but you know, when she first came out the gate, I killed her in the numbers. And I didn't have the big infrastructure of a network behind me and, you know, all these advertisers. It was just me, my 3 people, and a studio I built, and we killed them, crushed them with Cardi B first episode. So I look at it like, again, you know, being a culture critic, you have a responsibility to the culture while being critical to also protect it.
I have to ask, and you being in the position that you've created for yourself, admirable, might I add. Everything that's happened with Diddy right now.
Yeah.
Like, how does that affect you? Real relationship, I'm pretty sure you've built a relationship with him respectfully over the years of knowing who he is, what he represents.
Yeah.
Your show was on Revolt.
Yeah, I don't have a friendship with Diddy. He's not my friend. We don't hang out. We've texted a few times. I was on his network. I've been to many of his house parties. Let's start with different silos of Diddy, right? Okay, on one hand, cultural icon. He's done a lot for music, fashion.
Jason lists personal encounters with Diddy expose a darker side to the hip-hop icon. He recalls a heated exchange during one of Diddy's parties, during which he was cautioned not to cross him, underscoring Diddy's well-known history of intimidating and acting aggressively against his detractors. Even so, Jason stands up for Diddy's sons Christian and Justin, stressing their innocence and separating them from their father's purported misconduct. However, Jason's audacious accusations come with a warning. By openly criticizing Diddy and threatening to expose him, he may be endangering himself.
Have to hire extra security, almost the military, to stop people from wanting to scale the wall to get in his house, because on the other side of that wall is Beyonce, Jay-Z, and every big star you want to know. T.D. Jakes was there too, but I don't know if he was busting open. I'm just saying. Because they said that too about the good bishop. This is what I hate about the internet. If you say it is true, if you think it is true, if somebody retweets it, it's true. Everything ain't true. I don't know. What? I'm just saying, the fact that they said the bishop was busting open, I honestly had to take a break that week, because I said, what we not gonna do is take a man who's touched the world, pause, or whatever, and in a way that all of us have felt it in our spirits when we've needed to be filled up with the word of the Lord, and we castrate him that way.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Diddy. We saw his kids the other day in handcuffs. Did we see Ivanka Trump and Trump Jr. in handcuffs? But they daddy got niggas thinking they Spider-Man climbing up the wall to kill the vice president and take over Congress and stop an election. But we ain't seen a mugshot or nothing, because we're teaching people watching, black and brown gonna be treated one way, white gonna be treated another way. Black and brown gonna be cannibalized and evil and vilified. White folks, it's a misunderstanding. We won't call a mass shooting in this country terrorism because white people killing everybody. We gonna call it a debate over guns. No, it's terrorism when you go into school and kill 6-year-olds. This, you know, Kamala Harris, biggest issue I have with her is that she just has not been able to put her feet solid on the ground with the culture and understand. She said that America's not racist, and now is running around to every black church that will welcome her in there because she got some white person advising her telling her that's the way to get the black vote. So I feel very passionately about these things. I think with Diddy, what we're watching is we live in an era where celebrities got to be careful and got to be fearful at all times, because all I got to do is put everything I want to say about you in a lawsuit. Let TMZ or Hollywood Unlocked or anybody run the lawsuit, because you can't sue a lawsuit. It's a public document. So it got out to the public. So they did their dirty work. And then, regardless if you're guilty or not, you're gonna lose everything.
For sure.
And then by the time you get to court, you lost it all, and okay, yeah, you didn't do it. It's crazy. So I'm not saying that Diddy didn't do it or he did do it. I think if he goes through his process like R. Kelly did, but we saw the R. Kelly tape, so we knew he did that. Y'all kept dancing in the name of love and asking if you could fly. You saw what that did to that little kid. Yeah. But anyway, with Diddy, we didn't see all this stuff. I saw him and Cassie embracing each other, dancing and, whatever. And then she said what she said. We don't know if it happened or didn't happen. We know she got a bag. We don't know how much. And then that opened the floodgates to dogpile on Diddy, and Diddy's lost it all. He's lost the school that was helping black kids. He's lost his clothing line that none of us were buying at Sean John over at Macy's. He lost Revolt. He lost his Grammy nomination. He lost the deal with Ciroc, and he was getting $50 million a year. Don't get that deal's gone. He's lost it all. And then we're happy about that. I don't understand.
No, we're not.
Online, not us.
Yeah.
I'm not happy or not happy, but I'm just like, wow.
Because what you're saying is propaganda, right? It's something that's shunned or hold on, shh, on one side, but on the other side, it's magnified to say these type of people are bad. When I look at the whole situation, I'm saying to myself, I don't know what side to take, and I'm not going. It's just too much to handle. But I see what's happening, and too many people are being affected. Me being a father, what does his children think? It's not fair, right? And I think one of the things.
Given Diddy's history of taking strong action against his opponents, Jason's safety is a concern, and he will need to take precautions against any potential backlash.
Because you're setting up the next person for it to be easier for them. And the attorney that's behind this lawsuit that just launched, I just found out it's the same guy who went after Tiffany, who went after Nicki Minaj's husband, after he had served his time and all that, came back and said, oh wait, he went, Nicki, now let's get this bag. You trying to do woo woo woo. And then it got quiet. He's an ambulance chaser that even tried to drag me into some, and I had secretly filmed him or recorded our conversation and put it online because I'm just not that one. I'm not afraid of nothing. I want all the smoke. So when I look at a lot of these celebrities that have all these brand deals that are tied to millions and millions of dollars, they don't have the freedom to go and advocate for themselves. So they just sit there and watch them just get destroyed. And I feel like for me, no matter how successful I get, I'd rather lose it all by standing up for myself and what I believe in and standing on what is and against what is not, than to sit by and just watch me lose everything being silent.
But isn't it a little contradicting that you say that on top of, you said it's usually coming from, in other words, it's our own people that's doing it. So with this media trend of the bashing of Diddy, it's coming from Hollywood Unlocked.
Well, we're not bashing him. We're reporting what's out there, but just as I sat here and told you my opinion of who's putting it out there, we just ran a story a minute ago that Young Miami, we got information she was at the Met Gala fitting in New York and not with the drug mule in Virginia Beach. I'm not their publicist, and if they want to hire me as a consultant to help them through the crisis, I'll consult them. But yeah, a platform is a platform. We don't go out and create lies about these people. We tell the stories that we see, that we know, and most of the celebrities that we have relationships with, we'll figure out through them, their team, or whoever, their perspective to make sure that there's a fair picture painted of what's happening. The Amanda Seales once said something like, "You're a part of the problem, Jason. You're a part of the problem." Well, who's the problem? The people that can't digest enough of these stories, the people creating the news that we're writing about, or the people making money from doing it? Everybody's a part of this ecosystem of chaos that we are experiencing right now, because the world is just one click away. And every 15 minutes, there's a new chaotic moment happening, right? But I will say that I'm looking at it as fair as I can all the time, because I'm close enough to enough people to where I can see and go, wow, I see the story that's been written about you that's not true. So let me help you learn how to tell your story better, or what happened here. And that's why I think I have so many relationships, because people know I'm not just in this for the clicks. Yeah. The clicks gonna come, but I want to get to the heart of what's actually.
People are divided as the entertainment industry finds itself at a crossroads over the issues surrounding Jason Lee's claims against Diddy. Some are supporting Jason and his demand for responsibility, while some people continue to doubt his intentions and the truthfulness of his statements. One thing is certain: Diddy and his alleged wrongdoings are in the public eye. More than ever, these accusations couldn't have come at a worse time, for Diddy was now on the defensive due to mounting legal issues and concerns about his financial stability. D's carefully constructed image as a music industry powerhouse house is in danger of collapsing to the fallout from Cassie's lawsuit and the settlement that followed, but he is no stranger to controversy throughout his career. He has weathered scandals and setbacks and emerged unscathed time and time again. D's resilience and ability to navigate turbulent situations have Waters has established himself as a formidable force in the music industry and a shrewd businessman, but Diddy's legacy is at risk and the stakes are higher than ever.
Was you working for Diddy around the time that he was doing Making the Bid?
I went there from 99 to about 2004 to 2005, something like that. I was there when Danny came there and some of Ness, some of the things, Ness, a couple of those guys that were still around because they was writing and doing some things, but I was there for part of it.
When the camera was off, how was he treating it?
Like he wasn't, nah, he had no plans. That's all, that was all from MTV show. That was all for MTV show, bruh. He ain't had no plans for them. Not at all. He really had no plans for Danny the Kane. And they sold records. And I that's why I had said that thing about what he had said, because I think it's the parents or somebody was getting at him. They were, the parents, the management or whatever like that was getting at him hard. And that's when he made that statement that I had said. He said, yo, they keep effing with me. I'ma drug all of them up and pimp them out to my nigga. And I said that on your show before. So he didn't have no real plans for them. Not at all. You see what happened after the MTV shit went off. If you had plans for him, you the super producer, somebody should have been all right.
So he was just playing games with him when he was making them go walk to get cheesecake and all that. That was all.
Yeah, that's his ego. You know what I'm saying? That's his ego. Then he'll sit back in the studio, because he had like a big room. Whereas that with this giant television, we used to eat up in there, and it was like sometimes artists would go in there and write, you know what I'm saying, Jennifer Lopez, they would go in there with a writer and write a song or something like that. It was a cool room. He would go in there and just talk about, you know, all kinds of crazy shit about people or whoever it was. You know what I mean? Especially those kids.
What was he saying?
You know, it was just regular bullshit. You know, like who was hot, who was not. You know what I'm saying? He couldn't wait till this shit was over with. Stuff like that.
As the story develops, the public is left to grapple with an MRI of questions, including, are Jason Lee's accusations credible? What evidence does he have to support his claims? And perhaps most importantly, what will be the repercussions for Diddy and those around him if these allegations prove to be true in the age of social media and instant communication? Jason Lee finds himself at the center of a media frenzy, the spotlight firmly fixed on him and his credibility on the line. He knows that he is taking a risk by speaking out against such a powerful figure, but for Jason, the suit of truth outweighs the risks. Though rumors and information spread quickly, it's still important to distinguish fact from fiction and examine the situation critically. Time will tell what the truth is, but one thing is certain: despite all the chaos and noise, one thing is certain: all eyes are still on Diddy, Jasmine, and Jason Lee as they navigate the murky waters of scandal and intrigue. The world, the fallout from Lee's charges has sent shockwaves through the entertainment business, and the implications will be felt for years to come. Anticipates the next chapter of this dramatizing drama with bated breath, curious to see how it will all play out and what secrets will be revealed. Along the way, the entertainment industry is attempting to adjust to a seismic shift in power dynamics and accountability amid the worldwide controversy surrounding Jason Lee's allegations against Diddy. The story has captured the attention of viewers all around the world, with everyone from fans to industry insiders commenting on the drama that is playing out. However, as the dust Settle Stiddy is just now starting to feel the full weight of Jason's charges. The fallout from Jason Lee's allegations has been swift and severe. The once untouchable hip-hop mogul now finds himself on the defensive, scrambling to salvage his reputation in the face of mounting scrutiny. With each passing day, more details emerged painting a damning picture of Diddy's alleged involvement in criminal activities and attempts to evade accountability. But Diddy is not one to go down without a fight. Despite the mounting evidence against him, he remains defiant, issuing statements of denial and attempting to discredit Jason Lee and his sources. However, his efforts to control the narrative are proving increasingly futile as the weight of public opinion begins to shift against him. Meanwhile, Jason Lee finds himself thrust into the spotlight like never before. His accusations against Diddy have catapulted him to fame and notoriety, earning him both admirers and detractors in equal measure. But amidst the chaos, Jason remains steadfast in his commitment to seeking justice and holding powerful figures accountable for their actions.
I'm saying, Sean Carter, you're a piece of shit. Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough.
Real life.
It ain't real life. Just say real life street star. You know what time it is.
So why does it all come to a head now? Why now? Why?
Because he's the acceptable monster at this time. Like R. Kelly was the last time I sat on this couch.
So who's next?
Y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. Why is everyone having such a hard time? He ain't doing shit different. He lined up D. Haven, stole his life and identity. He lined up Big L, stole his life and identity. He lined up Dame Dash, stole his life, identity, and took his love. Lined up R. Kelly. He wants to be the one.
Shout out D. Haven. He actually hit us up, wanted to tell this story.
You need to talk to D. Haven.
Yeah, we need to talk to him.
I told you that last year when I put you on the phone with him.
You did.
I want you to think about this. Allegedly, Sean Carter is responsible for enacting Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyoncé, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th and Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened. And yet, they had to sit there and have that conversation like they didn't know who did it.
As the investigation into Diddy's alleged crimes progresses, an increasing number of people, from former associates to industry insiders, are coming forward with their own accounts of abuse and exploitation at the hands of the hip-hop mogul. These accounts have opened the floodgates, exposing a pattern of behavior that spans decades. But I'm in the darkness. There are glimmers of hope.
Think of the power of that moment. Think about Claudia Jordan right now. Claudia Jordan don't ever mention my mother name. She mentioned it yesterday. Talking about why people are afraid to come forward. You mean like you? You was Diddy girl. Corey was Jay-Z girl. Why don't you claim your friend? Claudia.
So, Jack, when you say...
When I say Corey, I'm talking about Kathy White.
Oh yeah, that's what I was about to ask.
Jay-Z's pregnant mistress,
yeah,
who died of an imaginary fucking aneurysm. Just like the woman who was best friends with Kim and Kimura, who wrote the book Bling and died as soon as it made the bestsellers list. Who the fuck was these people supposed to go to? You can't go to the boss because the boss is fucking you. And the boss's boss don't get no fuck. Can't go to the authorities. They're all bought and paid for. You could try to get a special prosecutor, but they'll just pay somebody to reassign him to another case. Where the fuck you go when you get f***ed over by the industry? Nowhere. That's where you go nowhere, which is where people like me step in. You right, I go to Diddy parties to walk mother out, cause ain't nobody stopping me when I come.
So let me ask you, because I look at Gabriel Union, and when you mention things like Jay-Z's time is coming for him, then I look at Beyonce. And I say that, women do have
that country album, and any of you that buy that shit stupid as shit.
You don't give it no
trap
credit.
music with goddamn a holster and a pad.
But she remade Jolene.
That bitch. I'm gonna tell you the song she should have remade. It's a hit. It would have done great for her. She should have tried it on. Tammy Wynette. Classic. Stand by your man. Don't act like you don't know that.
The bravery of individuals who have exposed Todd has spurred a wave of activism and unity in the entertainment sector, with demands for strict accountability and transparency resounding on social media. For many, the hash movement acts as a call to action, enabling survivors to speak out and seek justice in a society that all too frequently ignores their suffering.
Taking Pimp C wasn't bad enough. You just want to go down there and you want to just remove all of the balls from every real gangster in Houston. Why did that house burn up? Who the fuck goes to their childhood house for a visit and the shit goes up in flames?
That was very weird. The next day, within a week?
The next day.
The next day.
And still, no real investigation on how the house just went up in flames.
Man.
I guess they paid y'all off. Like they paid y'all off for that Astro World.
So, let me ask you.
Texas politics.
Yeah, Texas politics, man. It's that right there. We're gonna talk about the episode. But for right now, I just got to get your take on when we see a Killer Mike win 3 Grammys.
And get arrested immediately after because Jay-Z paid somebody to him up just so he couldn't have a good night. You, Sean.
Hey, man.
Weirdo. I don't get no what you got in your head, that neural link. You'll never outthink me. Ever. All I do is frustrate your AI. You can't quantify me. You can't even control your wife. You gonna handle a bitch like me. You can't even control that goofy bitch. You should have did a better job. Maybe she wouldn't have had to lose her mind on Kathy. Cause you ain't protecting you. You're protecting her. Wonder why?
That's a good break.
The entertainment industry is at a crossroads as the spotlight grows brighter on Diddy and his alleged wrongdoings. Will it continue to ignore the power abuses that have long existed within its ranks, or will it eventually address the poisonous culture of silence and complicity that has allowed such behavior to flourish for Jason Lee? The answer is obvious. He is unfazed in his pursuit of justice and is willing to go to any lengths to ensure that Diddy is held responsible for his acts. However, he is aware that the road ahead will be difficult and full of obstacles as he forges through the two waters of fame and power in search of the truth.